zina has become a way of life. Parents do not care. Even the children themselves have accepted it as a way of life. I remember some years back, we were talking about zina, and someone very seriously, disagreed. He said, look, Imam, what you are talking, Wallahi al-Azim, this is not a fabrication. He said, Imam, what you are talking about is not compatible with this age. There is no zina here because they are consenting adults. It's consensual. So you can't talk of zina. They both enjoyed it. And by the way, even the prostitute is rendering service to community. Otherwise, without the prostitute, there will be a lot of rape. This was supposed to be a Muslim. Go to the various asalatus. Asalatu is just a sideshow. That is our bane today. No more salah, no more khushu. Asalatu has taken over the deen. And in most of the asalatu session, I'm not condemning all those who attend. But some of the people who attend are not there because of the love of the Prophet or the love of Allah. They are there to meet their side chick. Because they want to give a side kick and get kicked into Jahannam. Wal-iyazu billah. So don't talk about it. In a situation where the imam of the masjid cannot even talk, get on the mimbar and talk of zina. Half of the women will say, Imam, what is he saying? And even after the khutbah, they will say, Imam, kí lẹ wá ń sọ yẹn now? Zina, kí ló ń jẹ́ zina? Ẹ jẹ́ kó gbà yín mú. Wallahi, it has become this bad. But zina, listen to Allah. He said, Innahu kana fahisha, la taqrabu zina. Allah did not say, La tafa'alu zina. He said, La taqrabu zina. Don't go near adultery and fornication. And before I go further, let me tell you the difference between adultery and fornication. Fornication is when one or both of the parties are not married. This is what we know, what most of us think. But it means if either or both of them have never been married, it is zina. But if either or both of them have ever been married, the party that has ever been married, notwithstanding the status as at that time, has committed adultery. Adultery, not fornication. Fornication is for those who have never been married and are not married as at the time they committed the offense. Please note this definition. So Allah said, don't go near it. And how do you go near it? By touching, by looking, by listening, and by walking. So you listen to lewd music, you are listening to haram. Some people cannot sleep without music. They say, I need cool music in the background. It will lull me to sleep. I need blues. Cool blues. It will be like lullaby. You are already into temptation. Kara'i yar'a hawla al-hima yushiku an yarta'a fihi. That's what the Prophet ﷺ said. He said, Ala li kulli maliki hima, inna hima Allah muharimu. Every king has a sovereignty, a boundary. that you must not violate. The boundary of Allah is what He has forbidden. He said, Karra'i is like the sheep, that the shepherd that is tending his sheep, close to the border. He will stray into it. When two people, a man and a woman that can marry, are in khalwa, in seclusion, then shaitan is already with them, and they are already guilty of zina, whether they actually have done it or not. Because innahu kana fahisha, it is a great evil. It is an evil in itself. Wasa'a sabila, and a pathway to a greater evil. You need only one zina, and that is the end of it. It's just like the passive smoker. You can say you have never smoked, but you are with people who smoke. The effect is even going to be more devastating on you. So these are the problems of zina. Zina gives you anxiety, a lot of it. You are always anxious. Once you go into zina, the zina, by the way, without enjoyment. You do it hurriedly. If you have an atom's weight of iman in you, you will not feel good unless your heart is dead. It is quick. It is a quickie. Do you know what they call quickie? So many of you are supposed to be unmarried. So how do you know that? You are afraid of pregnancy. He is also afraid of it. When she calls you and says, guess what? I can't guess. I hope it's not what I'm thinking of. Say, what are you thinking of? Just say it. Say, okay. When we talk tonight, I will tell you, say, please, just tell me now. I can't wait. Meanwhile, you are already perspiring, you are already sweating. Hey, a long way. I hope he will not tell me she's pregnant too. And even for you, even if your period is delayed for one day, you are in trouble. It should make you happy. Okay, 5 minutes. We have to respect time. I hope Allah will bring another opportunity for us to talk about this. But I must say that we can avoid temptation. And I will just rush within the 5 minutes that I have. By the prescription of Allah, first lower your gaze. It doesn't mean you should walk blind. The first gaze is for you. First gaze is for you. The subsequent gazes are against you. What is the first gaze? What passes in front of you? And you lower your gaze immediately. But what is your, brothers, what's your understanding of first gaze? Wow. And sisters, your understanding of first gaze? I'm cheating on him. My heart skipped a beat. Wow. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Lower your gaze. Control your sight. On TV, on the streets, on phone. You know, it's very funny. Allah, there is an Islamic group on WhatsApp to which I belong. And someone posted sexually explicit video. Wallahi, I didn't get to download the video until brothers started to comment. It is an Islamic platform. You know the comment? He said, please, remove the brother, delete the brother that posted that porn video. I said, porn video, boo. It means you have downloaded it. It means you have viewed it many times over. And you know how it works? It is, subhanallah. Hey, subhanallah, subhanallah. Wallahi lazim. This thing is shaitan. Shaitan, wallahi lazim. Astaghfirullah. You are the shaitan now. You are satisfied. Get married. Get married. That has been covered. I don't need to expatiate. You can get married fast. Monday, Thursday, 13, 14, 15. If that would not quench you every other day, like Sayyidina Dawood, wallah, you will not have ulcer. Even if you have ulcer, it's better for you. Dua. Pray. And the prayer is like the prayer that the Prophet ﷺ said for that young man who asked for zina to be legitimized. Can we remember the prayer? Allahumma kfir zambi. You now change it. Allahumma kfir zambi wa tahhir qalbi wa hassin farji. Oh Allah, forgive my sin. Purify my heart. And help me to keep chaste. You need that prayer a great deal. Abi, you don't need it. I know that you need it. Please do it. Then, keep righteous company. Please, sisters, when you meet, what do you talk about? Gists. Brothers, what do you talk about when you meet? Sports. Yes, I understand. Like badminton. Keep righteous company. Think and reflect. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
All right, jazakumullahu khairan. Allahu Akbar. At-takbir. At-takbir. May Allah bless our father for that wonderful jazakumullahu khairan. It's been subhanallah interesting. But you know what Imam was talking, I was just thinking to myself, in this age of slay queens, what are we going to do? Pepper them gang, right? Put brothers in temptations. It's interesting. May Allah keep helping us. So alhamdulillah, our father dealt with the topic, fighting temptations, choosing fidelity over fitna in your marriage. May Allah bless our father. ندعو الله أن يعينه في كل ما يفعله إن شاء الله. So the next thing on the agenda, first before I go into that, we need to understand the hashtag PUC Lagos 2018. Let's do the hashtags. Let's get the whole ummah, alive and talking. Pretty much, let's get the interactions with people, our friends and social media. Let them know that something great is happening in Lagos for the first time, and it's going to happen much more eventually, inshallah. So PUC 2000 Lagos 2018 hashtag PUC Peace and Unity Convention Lagos 2018 hashtag PUC Lagos 2018, inshallah. May Allah make it easy. So the next thing that's going to be on the agenda pretty much is the video we're going to be playing. We pretty much know that there's so many less privileged people in our society. What are we doing as Muslims to really change that? What are we doing to help? You get, as Muslims, we're enjoined by Islam to be concerned about her neighbor. Islam is not just a religion of your relationship with Allah. It's a religion of your relationship with your fellow neighbor, your fellow humans. Not only humans, everything Allah has made. So there's haqq Allah, or haqq al-khaliq, or haqq al-makhluq. The rights you have to Allah and the rights you have towards everything Allah has made.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Wassalatu wassalamu ala khatim al-anbiya wa imam al-mursaleen. And may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon the seal of the prophets and the leader of the messengers, ar-Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, wa ala ahlihi wa sahbihi ajma'een, and upon his household and entire companions. Dear viewers, I greet you all with the best of greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Meaning, may the peace, blessings and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be upon you all. You're welcome to another edition of the program Ask Salam, coming to you live from the Salam TV studios in Abuja. Alhamdulillah, today is the 13th day in the blessed month of Ramadan. We have reached the halfway mark of Ramadan. Allahu Akbar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from each and every one of us all of our good deeds, and may He forgive us all our shortcomings. Dear viewers, welcome again to Ask Salam. Our sincere apologies for coming to you slightly late, slightly behind the hour of 9 p.m. as we always come to you every day. And this, alhamdulillah, is still by the ni'mah and the favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are blessed to be in your presence. A lot of us who have observed our iftar, observed Isha, and possibly our Salat al-Tarawih as well. May Allah accept from each and every one of us all that we have done. Please do not forget that every time you are observing your iftar, just before you put your dates or you drink your water or you take the fruits or whatever it is you use for your iftar, but best of them, use that which has been recommended by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which are the dates. It's best to begin your iftar with dates. And just before you break the fast, make dua in the futur. That is, make your dua right before you observe your iftar, right? So just before you place the tamr, right, the dates in the mouth, make dua, sincere dua. Use that period to communicate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask for all that you will ask from Allah azza wa jal. And after you have made the dua, then you can break your fast. And you break your fast by making the sunnah dua, which is ذهب الذمع وبتلت العروق وثبت الأجر إن شاء الله, which is the veins ذهب الظمأ وبتلت العروق وثبت الأجر إن شاء الله. The thirst has gone and the veins have regained strength. يعني the veins have been fed. وثبت الأجر, and the reward is confirmed. The reward has been affirmed, inshallah, by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah accept your fast, accept all of your ibadah, accept all of our fast. We have our first caller. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, assalamu alaikum. You're welcome to the program. Can you tell us your name, where you're calling from, and your question? Please, can you turn down the volume of your TV set? Can you turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you better? Can you turn down the volume of your TV set so we can... Okay, you're calling from Niger State.
Yes.
Okay, please, can you turn down the volume of your TV set so we can hear you? Sorry? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
I say the person make mistake to eat. He has to do. How is the person to eat?
Unfortunately, I can't hear you at all. Maybe we might have to take the next caller. Again, just some advice for anyone that is trying to call in. Please, once you try to call in, turn down the volume of your TV set so that we can hear you, as there is a frequency jam every time a person has their TV loud or the TV set loud while trying to speak to us and also watch the program at the same time. So please just turn down the volume of your TV set every time you try to call in, inshallah. We have another caller. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Okay, you're welcome to the program. Can you tell us your name, where you're calling from, and your question? Hello, can you hear me?
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Your name is?
My name is President Farouk. Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Okay, what's your name? Okay, unfortunately, we can't hear this call as well. We might have to go to the next call, unfortunately. Please do keep trying to call again. The numbers to contact us today, again, are still the same. They are located on the bottom of the screen. So do call in to partake or participate in today's edition of the program. Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hello, good. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, we lost that call again, unfortunately. I pray it's not another case of the network today again, subhanallah. Please do keep trying to call in. The numbers are located at the bottom of your screen, inshallah. And also, for the benefit of us all, it's important that
Wa alaikum salam.
Oh, very good. I can hear you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay, go ahead. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Is
Go
this
ahead.
Ask TV?
Yes, this is
SalaamTV.
Yes, this is Ask Salam Live. Can you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, I called to ask my question.
Okay, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hello, what's your name and where are you calling us from? Where are you calling the channel from now?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
You say I should wait?
I said, please, can you tell us your name and where you're calling us from, and then you can ask your question.
Yeah, my name is Nafisa. I'm calling from Adamawa State.
Okay, Nafisa from Adamawa State. Go ahead with your question.
Well, actually, there was a sister of mine
No.
who aborted her 1 month pregnancy. And she asked
Aborted.
one scholar about an Islamic view about that. And he told her that since the pregnancy is just only 1 month, so the pregnancy doesn't get a rule. So she doesn't commit anything. So I want you to...
That if the fetus is less than 1 month, that she is not responsible?
Hello?
Okay, go ahead. I think I got your question, but I will answer that quickly.
Hello?
Inshallah. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Okay, I've gotten the question, so inshallah I will answer that quickly. Abortion or infanticide is something that is prohibited in Islam. It is haram, regardless of whether this fetus is desired or not desired. It is haram for one to commit infanticide, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ خَشْيَةِ إِمْلَاكٍ نَحْنُ نَرْزُقُكُمْ وَإِيَّاهُمْ. Do not commit infanticide. Do not kill your own children out of fear of poverty, because we provide for them and we provide for you, or we provide for you and we provide for them. It is important that we note this. Anyone that has an abortion out of fear of poverty is committing actually a grave sin in the sight of Allah. However, if a woman who has she's taken in that she's become pregnant, it is discovered that the pregnancy can be detrimental to her health, that it could even lead to death, maybe due to complications as a result of that pregnancy, then it is permitted for the woman to not have the pregnancy, or in this case abortion in that case, where there is a threat to the life of the mother, that it could even lead to death of the mother, this is where it is permitted. But if it is because of poverty, then it is not permitted for a woman to commit infanticide, abortion. And for anyone who has done this, they must perform istighfar, they must ask Allah for forgiveness. They must turn to Allah for forgiveness. Why? Because children are a gift from Allah. And a person who chooses to not receive that gift, it's tantamount to one saying, that Allah, I don't want your gift, and that's why I want to do this abortion. For couples who get involved in this is very wrong. If you're married and Allah blesses you with a child, it's very wrong for you to take such a step. So repent to Allah, ask for forgiveness from Allah, and do not repeat such a deed again. We have another caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Can you tell us your name, where you're calling from, and your question? Hello, can you hear me? Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hello, yes, can you hear me? Assalamu alaikum, can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Go ahead with your question, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
My name is Aisha. I'm calling from Kwara State.
Aisha, calling from Kwara State.
Hello?
Go ahead with your question. Yes, I can hear you, Aisha. Go
Hello,
ahead with your
assalamu
question. Wa alaikum assalam. Go ahead with your question, ya Aisha.
Yes, I can hear you. Hello?
Okay. Go ahead with your question, I can hear you.
Hello.
Go ahead with your question, ya Aisha. I can hear you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Go ahead, Aisha. I can hear you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, we might have to take the next caller because Aisha unfortunately cannot hear us, but we could hear her clearly, unfortunately. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Okay, we'll have to take the next call now, unfortunately, because the network on this particular call isn't very clear, sadly. Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Naam, you're welcome to the program. Can you
Hello?
tell us your name, where you're calling from, and your question?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Alaikum assalam.
Yes, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Can you hear me?
No, I'm from Zaria.
You're from? Zaria.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. I can hear you. You're calling us from Zaria. Can you tell us your name?
Hello?
Can you tell us your name?
Hello.
Okay. It seems we'll have to take the next
I'm
call.
calling from Zaria.
Okay, go ahead. I can hear you. You're calling from Zaria. Can you tell us your name and your question?
I want to ask questions.
Okay, Bismillah. Go ahead. Bismillah. We can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay. It seems there might be a challenge with the network. So for anyone who is trying to call in case we can't hear you too well, you can make your taslim, say your name, where you're calling from, and then ask your question. And inshallah, we'll take the question. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Can you hear me?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You're welcome to the program. Can you tell us your name, where you're calling from, and your question?
I'm Mrs. Hassana.
Mrs.
Calling from
Hassana,
Kogi State.
calling from Kogi State. Okay, go ahead with your question.
Yes.
Yes, go ahead with your question. We can hear you.
I'm Mrs. Hassana calling from Kogi State.
Okay, yes, I can hear you. Go ahead with your question.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so please go ahead with your question, inshallah.
Okay, sir. Please, last 3 days ago, sir, when I'm watching your program, I heard you discussing about when a woman is menstruating, that she's not supposed to carry a complete Holy Quran and be reciting it.
Yes.
But in my Islamia, hello?
Yes, go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay, sir. In my Islamia, they told me that whenever I'm menstruate, I can carry a complete Quran, but I should perform ablution before carrying it. So that before yesterday when I had you discussing the issue, I said, let me call you back and so that you enlighten me more about it.
Okay. Okay, Barakallah Fiqh. I'll clarify this inshallah. Yes, there are a few who have this ruling that a menstruating woman can simply perform wudu and that suffices. But this is not correct because she is still not tahira. What purifies a woman who is in the state of her menses, right, is after she has completed her menstrual cycle and she performs the ghusl bath to come out of the menstrual cycle. That is what purifies her. So she can't perform ablution while observing her menses to now recite the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the same way she cannot perform ablution to observe Salatul Dhuhr or Asr or Maghrib or Isha. Allah has taken that from her. So she doesn't need to observe the Salah with while she's in her menses. And she also does not need to pay back the Salah. So this is a clarification I want to make. A woman who is experiencing her menses, while in the state of her menses, Allah has taken away the obligation of observing the 5 daily prayers. Until she is out of her menses, she can go back to observing Salah, she can go back to fasting. In the case of fasting, she will count the days she has missed and she will make up for it after Ramadan, because obviously she can't complete her cycle and still complete the days of Ramadan. So after Ramadan, she makes up the missed days in Ramadan. However, for the Salah that she doesn't observe during the period that she's observing her menstrual flow, she will not have to make up the Salah. So that has been taken off by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is a favor that Allah has bestowed upon the woman whenever she's menstruating, that she doesn't observe Salah and doesn't have to pay back that Salah. She doesn't observe fasting, but she will pay back the fast. And she shouldn't hold the complete mushaf of the Quran. That is the complete Quran. She shouldn't hold it and recite from it in order to respect the honor and the purity of the noble Quran, and also the one who is reciting it as well. It doesn't mean she's not pure, right? It's just that for that period, that is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given her this means of releasing some toxins or releasing whatever is harmful from her body, and it's also required that she should stay away from salah or acts of ibadah like the fasting and the recitation of the Quran. We have another caller. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Okay, please can you go ahead, tell us your name, where you're calling from, and your question.
My name is Abdulhamid, calling from Ogun State.
Abdul Hafid calling from Ogun State.
Abdulhamid, calling from Ogun State.
Abdul Hamid. Okay, go ahead, Abdul Hamid.
It's my daughter I have a question I want to ask you.
Okay, Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Okay, and can you tell us your name and where you're calling? Okay, you're calling from Ogun State.
My name is
What's your name?
Abdulhamid Najiba.
Abdul Hamid Mujiba.
Abdulhamid Najiba.
Madiba. Okay, so go ahead with your question.
Najiba, please tell me the meaning of my name.
Mujiba. Did you say Mujiba or Najiba?
Yes, Najiba.
That is Najib, not Mujib.
Please tell me the meaning of my name.
Your name Mujib or Najib? Can you pronounce the name properly? Is it with an M or is it with an N?
Najiba.
Is it with an M? Is that with M like mosque? Is it with an M?
Najiba.
Or for N like Nigeria, Najib? Is it Najib? Like
Najiba.
Najiba. Okay, barakallahu fiki.
Yes.
So Najib, when you say Najib, is like Ajib, something surprising, something pleasant. Right? It is something.
Najiba.
Najiba. Yes, Najiba. It is something surprising, something pleasant. This is what Najiba. Yes, I've gotten you. Najiba. It is something pleasing, something surprising, something yani, when you say Ajib, right? So something that is pleasing, surprising. This is what Najib means, Najiba, in this regard. Wallahu ta'ala a'la wa a'lam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. All right, barakallahu fi. Can we take the next caller now, inshallah? Can we take the next caller? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alaikum assalam.
All right, can you tell us your name, where you're calling from, and your question? Oh, unfortunately, we lost that call, subhanallah. Please keep trying to call in. The numbers to call are on the screen again, inshallah, the bottom of the screen. So for all that are watching, and those watching from outside Nigeria, you can add the code +234 to call in as well. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. You're welcome to the program.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, my name is Hadiza.
Naam. Go ahead.
I'm calling from Abuja.
Calling from Abuja. Barakallahu fiki. Can you tell us your question?
Yes. Sorry, please, I want to ask a question. For
Okay.
example, if there's a dispute between parents and a child and her siblings and the parents' siblings, and the child takes the step of calling an elderly person to settle the problem, is there anything like Islamic, like as if, okay, the child is calling the parents for judgment, that like being disobedient to the parents by calling her for them to settle the problem?
No, there is nothing like this. You see, in Islam, and subhanallah, what you have just mentioned is something that just this evening I encountered and I experienced. And I ask that may Allah bless the family and unite the family and make them stronger. There is nothing wrong in you as a child who knows that there is friction, or there's friction, basically, let me use this word, between your parents and your other siblings or their siblings, to try to call them to reconcile. Even if it's just, they're not your parents, even for Muslims, for you to make the effort to reconcile two Muslims who are quarreling, who are not on talking terms, who have been away from one another for a long time, this is a great act that will earn you a great reward in the sight of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made this ummah, the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, an ummah that seeks reconciliation between people when they fight, when they quarrel, when they have misunderstandings. This is why in Islam, even when a husband and a wife have a quarrel and they seem to be at loggerheads with one another and they want to resolve their issues, Islam allows for the wife to bring a member from her family and the husband to bring a member of his family so that they can sit down and arbitrate between one another and reconcile one another. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that فَبْعَثُوا حَكَمًا مِّنْ أَهْلِهِ وَحَكَمًا مِّنْ أَهْلِهَا إِن يُرِيدَا إِصْلَاحًا يُوَفِّقِ اللَّهُ بَيْنَهُمَا. That if there is a faction or if there is a battle or a crisis between couples, that the woman, the wife, should bring a hakam, someone like a judge from her side, and the man should bring a judge from his side, the husband. And if what both spouses intend is for reconciliation, then Allah will cause that to happen because they made the efforts of bringing people to reconcile them. In another verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَإِن طَائِفَتَانِ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ قَتَتَلُوا فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَهُمَا. If two Muslims come together and they fight one another, right? If they are fighting one another, it is the responsibility of a Muslim, another Muslim, to come forth and make reconciliation between them, to reconcile both parties. So here what you have done, seeking to reconcile your parents, with your siblings or their siblings or whoever it is from even amongst your relatives that you want them to reconcile, this is not a wrong thing you have done. And also bringing an elderly person is a sign of respect that you have for them. Because as a young child, you would feel there's a level that you feel you can't go to with your parents. They are older than you are. So naturally, you would look for someone that they would respect and they would listen to humbly and not take it that you are being disrespectful to them. Because a lot of parents, when their children come up to them to try to correct them, they feel that it is a sign of disrespect. That who are you? What do you know? I brought you to this world, so you must listen to me. Even when they are wrong, they still sound this way. But as those who are believers, we do not show our parents any form of disrespect, even when we know what they are doing is wrong. So it's very important we note that. Barakallahu feek, and may Allah reconcile your family, dear sister, and bless you as well for the effort that you made. We have another caller on the line. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. You're welcome to the program. Can you tell us your name, where you're calling from, and your question?
Oh, my name is Fatima. I'm calling from Greater Manchester.
Fatima calling from Greater Manchester, United Kingdom, yes?
Yes.
Barakallahu feeki ya Fatima. You're welcome to the program. Go ahead with your question.
All right. I wanted to ask, is it compulsory for me do I have to pay back my missed Ramadan before I do the Sita Shawwal, or can I do the Sita Shawwal before I pay back my Ramadan?
Well, there are two views to this. One view is that you should make up the missed fast of Ramadan, and then you should pay back the Sitta Shawwal. However, if maybe for a reason, a condition comes up, maybe you fall ill, maybe something happens to you and you're not able to make up the missed fast of Ramadan, and just when you're okay and you're about to start doing the missed fast of Ramadan, you find that the days left for you to do Sitta Shawwal will not be enough, then you can fast the 6 days of Shawwal and make up the missed fast of Ramadan afterwards. Is that understood, Fatima?
And just when you're okay and you're about to start doing the missed fast of Ramadan,
Hello, can you hear me?
you find that this step for you to do Sitta Shawwal will not be enough, then you can fast the 6 days of Shawwal and make up the missed fast of
Okay, subhanallah. We lost that call, although I could hear that she was listening to my response as well while watching, and I pray that it suffices, inshallah. So you can make up your fast of Ramadan before the Sitta Shawwal, or if there is a condition that doesn't permit you to make up the Ramadan, you can pay it after if the days of Shawwal left are very little. We have another caller. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, we lost that call. We'll take this next caller now. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Hello?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You're welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. Can you tell us your name, where you're calling from, and your question?
My name is Yahya.
Okay. Yahya. And you're calling us from where, Yahya?
From Edo State.
Yahya calling us from Edo State. All right. Go ahead with your question, Yahya.
Yes, I want to ask question.
Okay, Bismillah. Go ahead.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you, Yahya. Go ahead with your question.
Hey, one of my friends come and ask me question. He said, from Edo State.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead with your question.
Yes, my friend asked me, he said, he needs want to help a mother to work for the farm. Yes, one of my friends said, hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead, Yahya. I can hear you.
Yes, I said, one of my friends come and ask me question. He said, because of her mother, went to go help her mother to dig in the farm. That is why he refused to fast. Then he paid his fasting back again. Is he allowed to do that and do what?
Okay, I didn't hear the question too well. I just heard something like farm and...
He said he went to go and help her mother to dig in the farm.
Okay,
That is why he said to fast.
okay.
Said, what is it allowed for him to do the fasting back again? Is it a sin?
Now, okay, Jazakallah khair. I'll answer this very quickly. Now, yes, it's very important that we respect our parents, that we help our parents, that we show them the utmost love and we show them the utmost support in everything that we do. Allah has brought us to this world through them, and as part of even loving and obeying Allah and showing gratitude to Allah, we must also show gratitude to our parents. As Allah says, Anishkuru li wa liwalidaik, and show gratitude to me and also show gratitude to your parents. However, above our parents is Allah Azza wa Jal. If Allah gives us a command for a thing, then we must follow the command of Allah over any other being that has been created. There's a statement, La ta'a makhluqin fi ma'siyatil khaliq. You do not obey the created instead of in order and disobey the creator of the created being. So if your mother is going to the farm and you want to help her, it is advisable that you do so in a means that you do not have to break the fast which Allah has made obligatory upon you. It is not allowed to break your fast unless for a very valid reason. There must be a very valid reason for you to break the fast. So saying you want to go to the farm to help your mother, which is very good. I must admit that that is an honorable thing to do. However, do not break your fast because you want to do this. In doing so, you have actually disobeyed Allah Azza wa Jal. So may Allah forgive us, make tawbah for this, and may Allah forgive you as well, and pay back that fast, inshallah. We have another caller. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Can you tell us your name, where you're calling from, and your question?
My name is Ahmed Soyaulu. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, welcome Ahmed to the program. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, please, I want to ask a question.
Okay, Bismillah, go ahead.
Yeah, in Surah, did Allah mention the name of Prophet Yusuf? And what is the name of the Surah?
In what? In which surah did Allah mention the name of Nabi Yusuf?
Yes.
And what is the name
of the surah?
Surah 12, which is Yusuf, Suratul Yusuf.
Yes.
Yes, so that's the surah. The surah is chapter 12 of the Quran, and the name of the surah is Yusuf.
The name of the surah is Yusuf?
Yes.
How many places? I'm talking about the whole Quran. In the whole Quran.
In the whole Quran, look very well. In the whole Quran, from chapter 1, which is Surah Al-Fatiha, to chapter 114, which is Surah Al-Nas, there is chapter 12 of the Noble Quran. And this chapter 12 is named Surah Al-Yusuf.
Somebody is writing it.
Can you hear me?
I'm not hearing you clearly, sir.
I said from the Quran has 114 chapters, isn't it? There are 114 chapters. Do you agree?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Surah 1 is Surah Al-Fatiha. That is the surah we recite in every salah. Surah 114 is Surah Al-Nas. From Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah 1, so I'll count it. You count it with me now. Number 1 is Fatiha. Number 2 is Baqarah. Number 3 is Ali Imran. Number 4 is Nisa. Number 5 is Ma'idah. Number 6 is An'am. Number 7 is A'raf. Number 8 is Anfal. Number 9 is Tawbah. Number 10 is Yunus. Number 11 is Hud. And number 12 is Surah Al-Yusuf.
Yes, I understand.
Good.
What I'm saying is the name where Allah mentioned Surah Nabi Yusuf in the Quran. That is what I'm asking.
And that's what I'm telling you. Where Allah mentioned Nabi Yusuf in the Quran is in Surah Al-Yusuf. There is a surah that is Yusuf in the Quran. That is chapter 12 of the Quran. Look at chapter 12 of the Quran.
Okay. Because I want to know, because they say I should confirm any times Allah mentioned Nabi Yusuf in the Quran.
That's what I'm telling you. He is mentioned in the Quran, and a surah, a chapter is even called Yusuf, and he is mentioned in that chapter, Suratul Yusuf.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that, did he have any number?
That is 12, chapter 12. It is 1, 2, 12, number 12. All right, Jazakallah khairan, Ahmed. Very, very interesting question, and I pray may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide Ahmed to finding this answer very easily. We have another caller. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Okay, you're welcome to the program. Can you tell us your name?
From Niger State.
Asma'u from Niger State. Okay, go ahead with your question. Yeah, Asma'u.
My question is, what is the repercussion of a woman that she will tell her husband is a hellfire man? 1. Then 2, a daughter of 7 years or 6 years, who is the responsibility to hold the daughter when they are no more together? Then 3, after like you meet a fasting, before fasting, and you do not have time to, or something came up, like remain tomorrow, they will start fasting. Then you decide that let you do the fasting that remain for you. Let you do it today. Then tomorrow you start the fasting. The day I was doing, like it's me. The day that I was doing the fasting, my friend told me that the fasting is not there.
Okay, I'll answer your questions now, Asma, inshallah. All right, thank you. For the very first question, for a woman to tell her husband that he's from Ahlun Nar, may Allah forgive us, may Allah not make us amongst the inhabitants of the fire. No matter how angry any man or woman is at their spouse, and naturally we will all get angry at one point in time or the other with our spouses, let us be very mindful of the words that we use. Because you see, there is something called, apart from the physical trauma or the physical violence, that's the one where a man physically hits another woman or a woman physically hits another man, there's also the emotional torture and violence as well. Domestic violence is not just physical, but there's even the emotional part, including the words that we utter. No man wants to hear his wife telling him he is of the people of the hellfire. May Allah protect us from that. Jahannam is not something any of us should ever play with. Nobody should wish that upon their enemy. Don't even make an enemy in the first place. Just know that it is a place that Allah has prepared for the worst of this dunya. Subhanallah. So no matter how bad it is you are facing with your husband, he doesn't give you food, he doesn't give you clothes, he's not buying you the latest phone that you want to have, he's not giving you the life that you feel you deserve. Divorce that or separate from that man with ease, but do not say he's of the people of the hellfire. So for a woman who does such, she has committed a wrong. She should repent to Allah, and she should also speak to this man and apologize to him, her husband, and seek for forgiveness from him as well. Number 2, if there is a separation between a couple and they have a child, especially a daughter, whether a son or a daughter, the child will stay with the mother, and the man is still responsible to cater for that child as well. It is unfortunate that a lot of our Muslim men do not realize this, and sometimes when they divorce, they leave the child with the mother, and they feel that, look, that is her problem. That's why in the West they have something called alimony. Alimony is a stipend, a monthly stipend, or even welfare package that divorced couples, the husband has to pay to the wife for the wife to sustain the family. This is something that exists in Islam. Right? And in the West, this is what they are copying in order to provide for the families of those who are divorced. Because you married this woman probably when she was young, she was beautiful, she gave all her life to you, she probably never worked in her life, she dedicated herself to you, and after 10 years of marriage, because you feel you're tired, because you feel you don't want to eat any more food with salt, you simply tell her, leave my house, I divorce you, talaqtuki. This is wrong. Even when you divorce a woman, she is not meant to leave your house. She's meant to remain in that house, even while you have pronounced divorce over her, because she has given everything for you, and it is part of the tenets of Islam to protect the rights of women and children. So if a woman is divorced, the man must still come to the responsibility of taking care of the wife and the child. If he doesn't do it, then he should wait for the repercussions in the hereafter. Even from this world he will face it, and in the hereafter he will also face it as well. Allah will hold him accountable for that. And the third and last question, if a woman has not repaid her Ramadan fast and she remembers a day to starting the day of Ramadan, or starting Ramadan proper, and maybe she missed about 5 and she only remembers and she wants to start the day before Ramadan, she can't fast that day, because it is one of the days that the Rasulullah prevented one from fasting. You do not fast a day or 2 days before the beginning of Ramadan, except for the one who is accustomed to the regular fast. For example, if Ramadan was to start on a Friday, and a person is accustomed to Monday and Thursday fasting, this is what he has been doing all his life, he can fast Monday and Thursday, inshallah, and there is no harm in that. It is only that exception that applies where a person is accustomed to fasting Mondays and Thursdays. We have another caller. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Naam, you're welcome to the program. Can you tell us your name, where you're calling from, and your question?
Thank you. My name is Mr. Qasim Abdulghani of Unity from Nasarawa State.
MashaAllah, Mr. Qasim from Nasarawa, go ahead with your question.
Qasim Abdulghani.
Qasim Abdulghani.
Yes.
Okay, Tayyib, Barakallah Feek. You're welcome to the program. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, sir. Can I ask a question?
Yes, Bismillah, go ahead.
My question is, what are the position of Islam about arrogance?
Allahu Akbar. The position of Islam on arrogance.
About arrogance, yes.
Okay.
And then my second question is, what is the position of Islam about gambling? Let me say example, Niger bet.
Niger bet, okay. I'll answer that right away, inshallah. And this will be our last question, unfortunately, because I'd like to speak about this extensively, inshallah.
Okay.
First, regarding the issue of arrogance, may Allah protect us all from arrogance. Arrogance is a grave sin in the sight of Allah. The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever has a mustard seed of arrogance in their hearts, Allah will not allow them to enter paradise. Whoever has just a mustard seed of arrogance in their hearts. And why is arrogance such a great sin? You see, arrogance is the very first sin that was committed. It wasn't murder. It wasn't the killing of Habil by Kabil, Cain and Abel. It wasn't cheating or lying or deceiving. It was not even Adam alayhi salatu wasalam eating from the forbidden tree when Allah prohibited him from eating from that tree, and he ate from that tree. That was not the first sin. The first sin was arrogance. And who committed this sin? It was Shaitan himself, the devil, Shaitan, the one whom Allah has said he is an avowed enemy to mankind. Shaitan committed the sin of arrogance. Allah commanded the angels, وَإِذْ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ. Allah commanded all the angels to bow down to Adam, and they all bowed down. فَسَجَدُوا. They all bowed down, إِلَّا Iblis, except for Iblis, except for Shaitan. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says he didn't bow down. Why? Because he was arrogant. إِلَّا Iblis أَبَى. He disobeyed, was takbar, and he became arrogant. He became filled with pride. Now, arrogance here doesn't mean you love to wear nice clothes, you love to look good, your beards are well kept, you like the nice hat, you put on a Bulgari glasses, you have your wristwatch that is, gold or Rolex or whatever that is. You like to look very neat, you use a nice phone, you drive a nice car. This is not arrogance, subhanallah. It is good you look good, because Allah loves those who look good. Inna Allaha jamilun yuhibbul jamal. Allah loves those who present themselves well, whom when Allah blesses them, they look good with the blessings of Allah Azza wa Jal. This is allowed, this is fine. However, arrogance here is when, one, Allah gives a command and we choose not to follow the command of Allah Azza wa Jal. Just like what Shaitan did. Allah gave him a command. It was regardless of what Shaitan was thinking, but he chose not to bow down to Adam. And what was the reason for this? Shaitan, who was a jinn, had been in the heavens when Allah created Adam from clay. And Adam, after being created, was left for a period. And Shaitan would go around and look at Adam and say, wondering at what creature this was, what creation of Allah this was. And you find this narration in the book Qasasul Anbiya, Stories of the Prophets by Ibn Kathir, rahimahullah, may Allah have mercy upon him. Shaitan saw Adam for this period, and after Allah breathed into Adam, or gave Adam the ruh, the soul, وَيُنْفَخُ فِيهِ الرُّحْ, gave life to Adam, Shaitan felt that he was better than Adam. Why? When Allah asked him, he said, أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ خَلَقْتَنِي مِنْ نَارٍ وَخَلَقْتَهُ مِنْ تِينٍ. I am better than him. You created me from fire, and you created him from clay. This was arrogance. And this is what a lot of people sometimes feel when you have people who are racist, or who are tribalist, or who are, have ethnic things to them, that they attach some superiority of their clan, or of their tribe, or of their race over others. This is what led to groups like the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan that existed in the West, in the United States precisely, where they would kill and lynch black people, believing that they were a better race than the blacks. This was arrogance. This was shaitan. It's similar to anyone who comes out to say, my tribe is better than yours. I am better than you are. Ana khairu mink. This is arrogance. This is prohibited in Islam. And anyone who has such an iota of arrogance in their hearts will not enter paradise. So let's remove that. This was the first sin, and it was the sin that led shaitan out of the mercy of Allah, out of the Rahmah, the heavens. And the second question, which was regarding, unfortunately, because we've run out of time, I would not be able to take this question today. But inshallah, when we come back tomorrow, I will start the program with the second question that has been asked by Brother Qasim Abdul Ghani from Nasarawa State, inshallah. Till then, I thank you all for watching. May Allah bless you all. For all those who were able to call in today, Jazakumullah khairan. It was destined that Allah had made the qadr, or it was destined for you rather to call in today, inshallah. And for all those who tried and couldn't make it, may Allah bless you as well. And may your turn come again, where will you be able to call in and you can ask the questions, and we will do our best by the help of Allah. Because again, all knowledge belongs to Allah. Wallahi, I do not ascribe anything to myself of ilm except what Allah has permitted me to say based on the teachings of the Quran and the noble ahadith of our noble Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as well as the righteous teachings of the righteous scholars, the righteous predecessors, the Salafus Salihin. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring us back to meet with one another tomorrow again, inshallah. Till then, this is Ask Salam, Ma'as Salam, Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.